TheorySabers.com.
Yeah, I mean, I've been good. It's just that, honestly, man, I've personally felt, and I know you're feeling the same way, Star Wars just maybe more frustrating than ever. And this week we were granted a little bit of hope. And, you know, when the news came out, I think it came out on Tuesday, right? Good reporter, multiple sources, puts out this big story that Kathleen Kennedy is going to retire from Lucasfilm and there's people taking over, etc. It was like the first time in a while that I had gotten hopeful about Star Wars and thought about what it could actually be and what we could actually be experiencing together. And it was cool. And I had to reach out to you because I had the vibes of back in the day. And so I'm grateful that that story was able to get us back together and get here talking about Star Wars. Unfortunately, as I was telling you right before we went live.
Yeah, he was giving me some rough news. And I was like, hold on, let me just hit the go live button. Because what?
So this is, I think this is so crazy, and I think we're still going to have a fantastic show because there's even more to talk about now. But Kathleen Kennedy, about a half hour ago, maybe a little bit more than a half hour ago, dropped an article, an interview on Deadline, one of the big Hollywood trades, super big article. And it is one of the strongest rebuttals against the story I've seen in a long time, just from what I've seen so far. And we can go through the questions and the answers, and we can talk about what's happening, right? But she is basically saying that she's not retiring, or that there's some kind of succession plan in, but it might happen, you know, at the end of the year or maybe next year. And if you look at the language, and I only looked at it a little bit because the bigger story I think is, man, this bitch dropped this shit right when you and I were about to get back together and start to get she gone, and like, you know what I mean? Like, we're so excited, and so I think
she's not gone.
Is crazy. Well, I can kind of explain what I think is going on.
Pop it up. Let's see this article.
Yeah, let's see this article. The thing is,
and chat, we'll bring in the boys as well after this, but we just wanted to do like a little 10-minute like homage of, you know, Nerd Theory, because it's been like over a year.
Yeah,
so
man.
we're very.
Let me get this.
It feels like we haven't even missed a beat, dude.
Yeah, I know. It's
kind of cool.
This is terrible fucking news, but I mean, yeah, other than that, it's really good. Yeah, dude, this is crazy. So I'll tell you what. Let me pull this up, and let me just give you the bullet points. Maybe that'd be a little bit better, because then I can actually like kind of explain what I think is going on here too.
All right.
Because there was some reporting on Wednesday that kind of mirrored exactly kind of what she's saying in this article. So it says here, it says she's not retiring. Will never retire from movies. I will die making movies. That was her proclamation. She's producing several upcoming Star Wars projects. We'll talk about that in a second, because that means she's literally probably, even if she retires as president, she will produce Rey movies, and she'll produce further content, which is crazy. She has started talking to Disney about a succession plan, and it could be a year before the decision is announced. Okay, so that's kind of like their cover story for it. We'll stay at Lucasfilm to assist whoever takes over. So, like, bro, what the fuck, man?
Wait, what? Hold on.
Yeah, so okay, so
what?
This is,
wait, oh shit. Okay.
So basically, this is what, in my opinion. Yeah, go ahead, man. What do you think?
I started talking with Disney about a succession plan. Okay, so this is like Palpatine's contingency plan. Okay, so she's on her way out. What are you talking about?
She's on her way out. She's absolutely on her way out. And I think that there's still a lot of good new stuff in here. So here's the thing. Here's what I think happened. Basically, she has been planning to leave for a while. There have been, you know, plans set in motion. I think the truth is there's two things. I think she's been looking for some kind of win. That's been out there in the reports, is that she wants to kind of go out on a high note, which is like,
us too.
Yeah, well, dude, her leaving is the high note, but ultimately, like, yeah, so that's been something holding her back, because obviously they've been struggling a little bit over there. And I also think it is difficult to figure out who would take over. You know, Dave's not necessarily qualified on his own to do it. He's the clear choice, but maybe he's not, you know, really qualified. That's kind of where I get this. I'll stay on at Lucasfilm to assist whoever takes over. So there's an example that I can give to kind of explain what this will probably look like. And unfortunately, unless we get lucky, brother, and like,
I don't believe any of this shit, bro. To be real with you, I think this is all PR. I think this is all like she's just be like, no, I'm not going anywhere. But then she's like, we're doing a succession plan. It's like, well, okay, so that's the first we hear of this. So clearly the news is true that she is
Yes.
leaving. But
Yes.
this whole shit about like we'll stay at Lucasfilm to assist whoever takes over, it's like, well, yeah, that's kind of what happens whenever you know, pass on the torch to somebody else. You stay until they're comfortable, and then you see you later. You're out enjoying
Sure.
your billions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that so there's a couple of things operating here. Number one, it's like the rumor comes out earlier in the week, right? And people like you and I just celebrate and we get really excited. And get hopeful about like the future of Star Wars and like
Probably literally throwing a sale
like,
right now because of this. Like,
no, oh yeah, like dude, no, for sure. I mean, bro, like we got the band back together. The boys are back in town. Like we're ready. We're ready. I saw John Campion popped some champagne. Like he was really excited too. So like a lot of people are excited about it. The problem is, I think her retirement is being played up a bit in the press.
yeah,
And because she like here's a question for you, man. Like, because to me, if she even retires, let's say she retires this year and she gives it to Carrie Beck and Dave Filoni, that's like a big rumor out there, or John and Dave,
I think
right?
John,
So,
dude. Like,
I would love John. But so let's say she does that.
I was on the show with Critical Drinker just a few hours ago, and
Yeah,
they were saying that Feige is actually quite possible.
Well, I mean, that's in some of the reporting. So some of the Hollywood trades mention Kevin Feige, and I think the reason they're doing that is because a lot of Hollywood people don't trust Dave with the job, basically. Because he's an animator, he's a creative guy. He's never really run, the studio, and this job is kind of a boring job. It's not really like just producing movies and making movies, which is why Kathleen Kennedy doesn't even want to do it. She wants to just go produce movies and have fun.
Right.
The job's like annoying. You talk with like licensors, you talk with executives. It's a bunch of bullshit. Right?
Yeah.
Not a great job. So people don't think Dave could do that. So I've heard that a lot of people within sort of the more established Hollywood, like basically Disney people, they want Feige because they look at Marvel, they look at money, they look at what's going on with Star Wars, and they're like, no, it's a no-brainer. Like, get this dude, right?
Right.
I think that would be great. The problem is he's pretty occupied with currently what's going on with Marvel. He's kind of pivoting, right? They're turning things around, but it's, they have a lot of work to do. It's going to be crazy. I don't know if he has the capacity to do it, but, look, going back to my question, I just want to ask you this.
Yeah.
Let's say she names successors, whoever, Dave and somebody, or maybe Kevin, but then we still get ultimately 3 or even just a couple of Rey movies, and Kathleen Kennedy's the producer. Does it really feel at that point like change has even happened, right?
No.
Like so
what if they're just putting her name on stuff and she's like out? She gone.
I would love to believe that that's what it is, and I'll go get my dog in a second. Sorry about that. I didn't know he's out there. But I would love to believe that. Oh, you don't hear it? Okay, good.
No.
Brother, I would love to believe that, but the problem is that all the evidence we have is that Kathy Kennedy is like weirdly powerful. Like, I don't even know why she's still there, to be honest with you.
I bet she got dirt on all those dudes from the 70s and 80s, man.
She either has incredible dirt or there's just too many connections to like her and Frank and like, because it's all like insular and Game of Thronesy power plays over there. So for whatever reason, she's like, it's like the mafia. She's like a made man. Otherwise, I feel like she would have been whacked a while ago, literally, because of the performance of the brand, right? So I just can't believe that after all of this time, after her being so protected, and we all really think it's like ridiculous at this point, like even people that used to defend her are like, what's happening, right?
Yeah.
It's just hard to believe that then they would unceremoniously shoot her out, just allow her name to be slapped on something and not give her control, right? So it's like,
I agree.
It's tough to imagine that that's what's going to happen. Of course, that's that would be better, right? But I mean, look, it's kind of a bummer. I think ultimately the thing that we should take a second to consider is that this reunion was so powerful.
I know.
That Kathleen Kennedy had to drop an article in the Hollywood Trades a half hour before this.
Yeah.
Like
we have to get that out before Nerd Theory returns
because they didn't want, of course, because they don't want us like cheering it on and like celebrating and pushing the movement of like, oh, thank God and all of that. Right?
They want us to see that article. They want us to see that shit and talk about it, so everyone knows. We got over 3,200 people here right now. Chat's going insane. Everyone is. I got to say, everyone is like so happy to see us back. They're happy to see you. They missed you so much, and it's. I miss it, dude. It's been great.
Yeah, hell yeah. And the thing is, too, it's still like I don't want to get down because of this new news, right? And I think we should still have a fun time talking about.
We'll bring the boys in. They'll give their 2 cents, and
yeah, and we should talk about like what Dave could do and like the future and positive shit, right?
Yeah.
I just want to say that. Look, I was so pumped about this news that like I had to hit you up. We had to get back on here and like do our thing, and that it made me remember, despite being pretty cold on Star Wars and like downright like anti, kind of rude, honestly. I've been kind of toxic about it, to be honest. It made me realize that within oh no, I'm doing it on purpose. It made me realize that like deep down in there's still a part of me, man, that's like, dude, I just want to go to the galaxy far, far away. And
yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Still there for me. I always think there's hope. Always, because it's all it takes is one dude with the right vision and the respect for George to come in there and make 3 bangers, and we're right back. And we just ignore all of this other shit that happened.
I agree, and the other thing that's cool about this too is like, so let's say she does and she gets her Rey movies out. Like, let's say we still have a couple more years. Like, she's gone, but we still have to deal. There's still a scenario 6 years from now, 7 years from now, where she's not involved at all.
Yeah.
And there is good reporting to suggest that people within Disney want to do shit different with Star Wars. The problem is Kathy. Like, Kathy has crazy power. Kathy has like her own priorities. Like, she's a like a boss almost, you know what I mean, for change to that company.
Yeah.
So I think even if it's like Dave and Carrie Beck, who I would think would like, that's like my least favorite combination, because Carrie Beck is she's a producer. She's helped at Dave's with some stuff, but she used to be on the story group and stuff. And I think she like ride or die a little for Kathy. And it's like, I'm not crazy about it. If it's Carrie and Dave, I kind of feel like they're just going to carry on Kathy's legacy, especially if like Kathy's literally there hovering over Dave. Like, that's kind of a problem. If it's John and Dave, I feel like we get new, and that's great. If it's Kevin and Dave, I feel like we get completely new, and that would be really exciting. Like, for me personally, I'd be pretty excited about that. But I think basically, bro, like, there's hope. Even if this isn't exactly the end, like, even if she's not exactly gone, we're closer than we've ever been, and there's hope. And I also think that like fan voices are still important in this conversation. Like, I don't like the idea of her sticking around. So like, sure, Kathy, do your article, drop your shit in Deadline, let us all know. And honestly, look, that was a strong article, lady. You know what I mean? I'll admit it. That was strong language. You're a powerful person. But I'm a fan on the internet. That's a nerd with a microphone. I'm still going to tell you, you need to move the fuck on. You ruined this shit. I'm still going to say that. I'm still going to beat that drum.
You know what would be really interesting is that if we actually had an interview with someone who's like a diehard Kathleen, but like not just like a fan. I mean, someone who's been like working next to him and like, look, she has literally single-handedly made the shittiest decisions for this brand. The toy sales are down. Your streaming is down. No one gives a shit anymore. The only thing that's popping is the Jedi Fallen Order game.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that's probably losing sales too because of just the direction of Star Wars as a whole.
Yeah. Yeah. It could have been better if they had the company in better shape.
Oh, yeah, dude. Shit. I mean, it's unfortunate, but at least we got her saying that she has been planning a succession plan, which means that, she's definitely on her way out, and that means her power is going to be less. I'd say she's going to be like Uncle June when he's on house arrest, and we're going to get a Tony Soprano come in, kind of thing.
I actually have never watched The Sopranos, so I don't know exactly what the hell you're saying, but I'm going to agree with you. I'm just going to agree with you.